きでやってるから。好きじゃない人から見れば辛いかもしれないですけど、僕は楽しいですけど。
I never retired, and I have a lot of people that I have to shut up over there. I gotta shut them up. And I don't live out of my past, I live out of my present. No message to Sakuraba. I'll give my message on May 1st.
It is none of them.
You're right. It could be. You're right. It might be none of them. This might be just a hoax. Royce turns around.
Boy, is that the blue guy? The blue guy's too big with his legs. Is that the blue guy?
This has got to be affecting Royce to some degree. I mean, he's thinking, what the hell is going on?
Inoki.
Antonio Inoki, the famous pro wrestler who fought Muhammad Ali.
Yes. This is great, guys.
This is tremendous. One of the true sports legends in Japan. Giving Royce the commemorative flowers, the well-wish, which I'm sure deep in his heart he wants Mr. Sakuraba.
Well, who's he give it to? They're all taken. They're going to run us all to the end.
Now, as we said before, there's a practical joker in this man. Is there or is there not?
There is.
I guess we're going to find out what the mystery is.
I'm saying purple.
Okay. Will the real Mr. Kazushi Sakuraba please stand up?
And boss says nobody.
Yes, I think nobody. I don't know why. I'm going to be... No, I'm going to be...
Each round will last 15 minutes until the winner is determined.
Okay.
Unlimited. So the guy wants to stop.
In his corner, Mr. Sakuraba and his little duo of buddies has got his trainer and mentor, pro wrestler Nobuhiko Takada. And there he is, Royce Gracie.
The fans love him. Listen to him. The guy's a legend.
The guy is a legend. He's one of the most recognizable faces in the martial arts. And there's his father, Elio.
Yeah, I admit that Mr. Gracie, you know, of course, the language barrier, but he gave me a lot of compliments as a fighter.
He's got red hair.
I should have figured out the orange, of course, but I was wrong. You were wrong, boss, and I guess
in the beginning I was right, but then I changed it, and it was because of you guys. So actually I'm right.
Okay.
Even when I'm wrong, I'm right.
It's no big deal, guys. I'm sure you'll get
me
back.
Well, you won, so of course it'll be good to you, Steve. You won.
Okay, no problem, Mo.
Here we go, ladies.
It doesn't matter to me because I'm not trying to get over on you, Mo.
All right. Okay, guys, this is it. A fight of the century to some degree.
This is the fight of the century. It really is. Because this time, unlike the Royce-Gracie fight, which ended in... Okay, there's the shaking of hands. The Royce-Gracie versus Sakuraba ended in a controversy over a referee stoppage. Royce complained bitterly, and there was a huge rift between the Gracie family and Mr. Sakuraba and the Pride organization after that. Yes. Here we go. Royce comes right after him. Sakuraba goes for the single, and down they go.
Okay.
Sakuraba sits up. Royce throwing some strikes, and Sakuraba stands back up. Nice right hand by Mr. Sakuraba.
Yeah, on the ground, Gracie doesn't want to be on the ground with Sakuraba. That's his thing. He's in great control.
He uses the gi right now. You see? He uses it to hold him up.
Royce chopping away with some light knees, and he's trying for that trip takedown. But Mr. Sakuraba has got a really good base. It's one of the things that most people don't know about him because usually he just does a stand-up fight lately.
Yes, if you're on the bottom, with Sakuraba, he's going to take advantage of it. He has no fear of being on top and striking when you're in the bottom. And that's what I like about him. His style is very exciting.
Yeah, now, Royce is chopping away with the knees, but I don't know what effect that is having at this moment on Mr. Sakuraba. He's waiting for an opening. Royce may be susceptible to some offense by the gi against him, boss.
Yep.
That's what I said, you know. Right now, it's against him. That's what I think.
What I find interesting about Sakuraba, look at how calm his face is. Even when he fights, he's really aggressive. He stays, his expression doesn't change.
No, it's unbelievable. I met a guy, he's actually, yes, what they say, used to say, a sweetheart. You know, he's
Yes,
the
he is.
nicest guy you can meet.
Royce tried to pull guard on Sakuraba.
Whoa, right straight.
Great right hand. Royce is going for a leg lock, and he gets Sakuraba's back. Sakuraba going for an arm lock to the side. Royce down. Sakuraba going for that Kimura.
As long as you get that in.
Now this so far has been a little more action-packed than maybe I had expected it would be.
Yep, me too, man.
A lot of people thought maybe this, because it was no time limit, was going to be a boring ground fight, but so far they've come right after each other. Royce with the knees now, Sakuraba with a good little right hand, and Royce almost getting a leg lock, but then Sakuraba popping out.
Now, is it about who's going to make the mistake?
Yeah, it's about position of mistakes, exactly. And
he's continuously throwing the knees. And like you said, you know, if he's going to doing this constantly, like 20 minutes, 15, 30, you know, it's going to hurt at the end.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing, but
now he's kneeing Sakuraba on that taped up leg, so maybe that's a sensitive knee. We don't know how many of those knees that Sakuraba can take before he has to change position, because he's kneeing on his off his soft knee. Sakuraba going for the arm lock outside of the ring.
Royce Gracie preps his own gi to block it.
Yes, good move.
Very good move.
Oh, this is tremendous.
Look at the expression of Sakuraba.
It's great.
Unbelievable. Jesus Christ, huh?
No, he's going and he's holding it.
He's starting to really twist on that arm, and he's not really expending.
Look at Morian there. He's complaining, but there's no rules.
There's no rules.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You can't complain about this, right? There's no rule that says if you go outside the ring halfway in the top rope with the arm, that you have to go back in and restart.
If I was Royce, I would continue throwing the knees to the leg.
Exactly.
Change the position of Sakuraba. Make him change his position.
I truthfully don't think that Sakuraba can submit Royce from his position.
He's not worried. He just has control.
He's actually laughing about it.
He shut him down a little bit right now. But the fight's still beginning, so we'll see what happens.
He's starting to twist on that arm. He's starting to bend it back now. This is one of Sakuraba's favorite finishing moves, actually.
Yeah, but then again, you see him every time doing something else. He's got the Kimura, straight armbar, the leg lock,
the jump kicks,
the jump stomp.
I mean, the fake jump kick, then the sliding side kick.
This is very good what Royce is doing here right now.
Yeah, this is very smart of Royce.
If he makes a stronger fist, would have more impact.
Yeah, throw a couple of fists, exactly.
Yeah.
But he's got to watch out that he doesn't punch himself out. But Royce's trainer told me that he feels very strongly that Royce is in the best endurance shape of any competitor in this tournament. Okay, now Royce is going for...
grab his gi. He would for a second.
Now Royce is grabbing the ropes here, but... Royce has got Sakuraba's back. Now, Royce used to really love to choke guys out in this position. Once he got anybody's back in the old days, they were as good as gone. But Sakuraba is really good defense from the rear position.
We never saw this in between the ropes.
Yes.
I mean, this is different. What can you say about this situation? It's a strange situation right here.
5 minutes passed.
5 minutes passed. We have 10 minutes left in this round. Royce continues to chop away.
Yeah, but why not throw a full power punch instead of like 5 sloppy ones? I will make a strong fist because he can do actually some damage if he wanted to.
Yes,
a palm strike at the back of his head, you know, with straights.
But see, the thing is, he's not a striker. He's a submission fighter.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
Yeah, he will set up his submissions with his strikes. That's notoriously what he's always done his whole career.
But Sakuraba is working on something.
He's got something up his sleeve. He's going to do something. You know, he doesn't seem worried at all. This is actually kind of funny, this position.
Comical, yes.
I mean, you've got a pro wrestler against a really serious jiu-jitsu player. Sakuraba lost the arm.
But he's okay still. He's okay.
Because the rope is his friend right here.
Right. He's nothing going to happen to him.
Super calm.
Well, I don't think Royce can do a suplex from here, now can he?
No,
Not
they're both calm, but who's going to get frustrated?
He could grab the legs.
Okay, now they're back
try
in.
to pull him out of the
Sakuraba's
ropes.
gotten back in the ropes. Now he's back out, and he's grabbing for the other arm.
You know, in a lot of ways, I think Royce is wasting a lot of energy here.
Yep.
Because the punches aren't effective. They're just punching, but they're not effective punching.
Royce might want to just stand back and go for it again in a standing position because, like you say, Mo, I mean, he's wasting a lot of energy. And
this is smart what he's doing right now.
Sakuraba.
Throwing the knees. No, throwing the knees.
Royce,
Yes. I would have continued with that constantly. If he would,
but picking him harder, be more precise in my technique instead of just throwing him.
and with the kneecap.
I guess because the referee felt that there was, okay, he's going to restart them with the head over the ropes. I don't know what authority the referee had in that particular thing, but Sakuraba doesn't seem to
Well,
mind.
it wasn't making an exciting fight for the crowd, so it's a good call. Let him break him up even. Let it go.
Yeah. He's going to reset over the top rope. Okay. And Royce is going to, try for a rear naked choke from here? It's going to be hard. Oh, dumps him straight down, and Sakuraba stands back up.
Look at that.
Hey!
Nice
kick.
A left roundhouse kick by Royce at the head, blocked.
Oh, low kick.
Nice low kick by Mr. Royce.
Oh, growing kick.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to be careful on that one.
Yeah.
Royce is throwing some kicks in this.
Well, you got to give the guy credit. He's making a fight.
He is definitely making the fight. In some ways, he's been the aggressor in this fight, and so a judge has to feel that looks good so far.
Remember, there's no
but there
judges.
are no judges.
So it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's hard not to say that, though. You're scoring in your head, right? Oh, Gracie's
Maybe Sakuraba is going to go for a leg up. I just want to say.
knee bar? Possibly, yeah.
Knee bar?
But not yet, yeah.
But it's a little risky, of course.
Yes. But you do it, boss.
But
Yes, I would.
But I don't know that with the exception of Ken Shamrock, that Mr. Gracie has ever faced a man who's got a decent leg
Yeah,
block.
and especially with the gi on, it's really tight. You cannot turn out anymore.
Yeah, because you don't slide.
Yep.
I think the knee bar would be the trick here. I know that Royce has trained a lot in strikes and a lot in his overall game, expecting the worst from the likes of Mr. Sakuraba and possibly both Chance and Kerr and Coleman and the others in the tournament.
Looks like he's going to spin pretty soon, Sakuraba. Like he's going to spin.
Oh. I don't think Mr. Sakuraba wants to be on his knees with his back to Royce.
He's going for the knee bar, man. You see?
Yeah, he's setting it up. Yeah, Royce is wasting. He's using a lot of energy now. Here we go through the ropes again.
Well, now who's calling the fight over here? The Gracie corner or the referee? Who's in charge? You know, they're complaining about the ropes. Like it says, no rules, as I understand it. Of course.
Well, but they're passionate about their player, and they're going to speak their mind. I mean, if you were in the corner of one of these gentlemen, you'd probably speak your mind too.
But you know what? That's true. But the referee is in control of the fight still.
That's true.
And he can't make decisions based on what the guys in the corner are saying.
Now those knees are good because they're hitting him right on the base of the spine there, just below the buttock.
Buttocks.
You cannot tense your muscles at the back. It's going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt. In the long run, it's going to hurt.
Oh. Now down they go, and he's going for the knee bar.
Oh,
and
he missed it.
Oh, he missed it. Nice.
Same situation. Oh, my God, guys. This is a good fight.
Oh, and down they go. Royce pulled him back and fell back, but Sakuraba doesn't seem to be in any trouble, and he spins back up. Royce wants him back down on the ground. He's going for trying to get his back again, and Sakuraba neutralizes the position.
Throwing away a lot of energy.
It looks to me, even though Mr. Gracie has been the aggressor, and it looks better, that Sakuraba has expended less energy and is more relaxed so far.
We're 10 minutes into the fight now, and right now they both look like their condition is pretty good because they're not really doing a lot. It's just a lot of holding and walking. There's a lot of strategy involved here. It's just a matter of who's going to make the mistake first and who can capitalize at that moment. 10 minutes passing the fight, and it's a strategy fight because you don't want to give a position. It's like Robert doesn't want to take a chance of getting caught in anything. The voice is not going to let him.
I think they're both waiting for the other to do something now. A lot of people have wondered why Royce would want to come back because he had already had a really good career and they had a really great school and selling videotapes and teaching police departments and things. What would be your take on why he came back, boss?
Yeah, because just to prove to everybody that he still is the greatest, because what everybody said, what I say, he has to prove it right now. In the beginning, nobody knew what they were doing. and he could beat these guys. And now he's fighting in an era that everybody knows something. And you know as well as I do, if you learn little submissions, you know pretty fast to stay out of them. And that's why he wants to prove that he's still the best. I think that's his. And it's great. I respect that a lot because, I mean, like you said, you know, he doesn't have to prove it if he doesn't want. But it's his fighting heart, his fighting spirit.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he's in there.
He's a fighter, no matter what. I mean, he's the first one to actually beat everybody.
Yep.
Now, like you said earlier, boss, the fighters have changed now. Yeah, Sakuraba's got a red spot, but that's okay. That's part of the game. You're gonna bruise up a little bit. But that doesn't mean the fight's over. The game has changed, right? The game has changed. Can they capitalize on the mystique of the Gracie clan style of fighting, or is it as strong as
That's it.
Now, one thing that a lot of the fighters that are in the tournament have complained about is the fact that Royce Gracie gets special rules and they don't. And if this is a true open weight class tournament, what are your thoughts on that, Bob?
Well, my thoughts is everybody should fight. There shouldn't be anything special for anybody. Everybody has the same rules, other than maybe unlimited time. But everybody should have the same rules. If everybody fights the same rules, weight class is an open class division. Why do you have to have a 10 kilo difference if it's a draw? If the fight goes a distance, the guy with 10 pounds less or 20 pounds less wins the fight. It's open division. The best competitor wins.
Yeah, that is one of the rules that Pride instituted in the Pride Grand Prix opening round in January. They instituted the 10 kilo, if an opponent is in fact 10 kilos heavier, 22 pounds, that the lighter man, in a case of a close fight, gets the decision based on that.
And I don't think that's good for the fighters. I think, like I said earlier, and I'm sure Bosch would agree, the toughest man, the best man wins regardless of weight.
If you go into the fight and you fight without weight limits, you have to accept the rules. That's it.
Now, Royce is chopping with a little bit of a knuckle punch coming up. It's not doing much, but he's busier now, but it still really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because,
no judges.
You know, I mean, we can sit here and go, he's winning the fight, but, you know, it says Yogi Berra once said from the New York Yankees, it ain't over till it's over. And this is literally what is going to have to happen in this fight.
Right now, we would have wished that there was a time limit because he's ahead on points. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Because he would have won this fight.
Won this round.
He's outstruck. But if it was a time limit, I believe Mr. Sakuraba would fight a completely different fight himself.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
I think he's fighting I think he's fighting a fight. Oh, here we go. Royce trying to pull him down. Mr. Sakuraba's got a great base, and he just will not stay down.
He's going out here.
Knee bar.
Going for the leg.
Knee bar.
Going for the leg.
Oh, he blocks it. He has to punch back.
You know, Royce could potentially be in a problem situation right here.
He's going. He's covered. He's going for a toe hold now on the other leg of Royce. I did it actually to a Japanese fighter, Yamada, same situation. You can make a toe hold now on Royce's right leg. He's turning the right leg.
Sakuraba's going to make sure he doesn't give up. 1 minute left in this round, you guys. 1 minute left.
1 minute left. In Gracie versus Sakuraba, battle of the century.
Yes, old school versus new school.
Fight number 2 in the Pride Fighting Championships 2000 finals.
There we go.
He's trying to loosen up. He's going to go for one foot or the other.
That's what I said. He's going for the other leg.
And
he wants the knee bar, looks like.
Yeah, he wants that knee bar, but he's
now.
Oh,
See?
there it is. There it is. Oh, it's not good. This is not going to be good.
No, he's all right. Royce has it in his head, his foot. He has his own foot, so he's okay.
But he can chop away at that sore ear of Sakuraba.
Sakuraba should explode now as hard as he can.
Boom.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to really hurt him with this. He's going to hurt him.
No, he's out.
He's out. Yeah, you're right. He's out. He's pushing out. He's doing good defense with that. His right foot.
Sakuraba is sliding.
Oh, ending.
Wow, good.
Oh, my God.
Very good ending. Very good ending.
Beautiful ending. Royce Gracie pretty much controlled the tempo of that fight up until the last minute and a half, let's say. And then Mr. Sakuraba did, in fact, as Boss alluded to, go for the knee bar.
Yes. I have to say, guys, I'm impressed with Royce. He did real good. After his last fight against Takada, I thought that was so boring. And he's doing really good right now.
He's doing really good. He's striking good. He threw some kicks. He threw a high kick.
But you guys made a good point that because it's unlimited, how much are you going to put out during the fight? If it was a time limit, you put out more. But since it's not a time limit or unlimited rounds, how much are you going to work?
Yep.
So Sakuraba maybe just taking his time.
Oh, no, I know. But I just say the performance of Royce
is doing well.
Is much better than I expected.
Mr. Nobuhiko Takada, the trainer and teacher of Mr. Sakuraba. Sakuraba has, as we know, gone quite a bit further in real fights than Mr. Takada has. Mr. Takada having the pro wrestling background. Here it is. Royce chopping away.
Palm strikes. Nice palm strikes, too.
Good palm strikes. Those were really good, but he's going for the knee bar. Royce almost tapped. He almost tapped out. But he's chopping away. Royce just doesn't want to give it up. You know, I think Royce would let the leg break, really. I think Royce would let the leg break rather than tap out. What do you think, Maurice?
He'll let it break it. That's the way they are, some kind of Brazilians. I mean, they're tough competitors like Alan Goes when he fought Frank Shamrock. He got heel hooked. He'd rather had just broke his heel than give the fight up. Some guys are like
he told us that he said, my spirit won't let me tap.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is, though, and Alan Goes against Frank Shamrock, it was at the end of the round. If it would have been in the middle of the fight, it would have been disastrous, but it was the end of the round, so Alan stood on his corner with one foot. Okay, there it is. Sakuraba really trying for that.
Yeah.
And Royce is defending well. He's pushing with that right foot. And
well, that's the point.
He should have pulled the toes now from Sakuraba.
Everybody's getting smarter. You can't. I mean, sure, the Gracie may be kind of an old school style in a sense to the new age fighters, but they're prepared to fight the new age fighters as far as knee bars, punches, kicks, and what have you. They're not stupid. There's no way.
Along with the new breed of fighters getting smarter, it appears that Gracie has gotten smarter as well.
Saying.
He's been a student of the game also. It's pretty obvious after that first round against one of the greatest fighters in the business currently. And here we go, round two. The sensational matchup of Royce Gracie versus Kazushi Sakuraba. Royce looks pretty fresh.
Yep, and so does Sakuraba.
This has been far better than we even imagined.
Boss, let me ask you a question. If you was to fight in this fight, regardless of who the opponent may be, how would you pace yourself? Would you be one round off, one round hard, or would you just like take it how you feel?
I would like my corner say things to me like go for like 30 seconds, explodes constantly, and then take it easy for 4 minutes, see what happens, and then explode again. But I would try.
But there's no judging.
Royce coming in with a jab, and then now they tie up on the ropes. Royce going for a trip takedown, but not getting it.
But there's no judging. So what do you do?
Yes, it's true.
It's
but
difficult.
in the exploding time that I give, like 30 seconds full power, I hope to
knock the guy out.
Yeah.
Okay, now they're tied up in a little bit of a clinch here. I expect some knees from Mr. Gracie. There it is, chopping away at that left leg of Mr. Sakuraba. Now Royce throws the left knee up, but it doesn't do anything. It's a light thing just to keep him honest, so to speak. Sakuraba is reaching around behind, grabbing Royce's gi belt, his black belt.
Also strange is that the corner suddenly moved. The Gracie corner is actually giving him
they're following the
instructions in the neutral corner.
Yeah, they're following the fighter. I don't know if that's in the rules or not. Maybe it's not in the rules.
No.
That's interesting because I happen to have the rules right here.
And it says cornermen can move or cannot move.
The competitor and the cornerman shall abide by any judgment. Competitors may have up to 3 people as cornermen who are requested to stay in their corner and not contact physically to the competitors during the match.
So they have not in the corner.
Well, they must have. Maybe that's part of their special rules.
Yep,
could be.
It must be.
It must be because the judges and referees at ringside are not making a stink about it. So
well, the judges are watching the fight. That's not their job. That's more for the referee if he can, or the people on site that work for the company.
Yeah, the security people. There he is, one of the world's greatest rock and roll guitar players, one of the greatest ever. Eric Clapton, a pop icon, parallel to none.
Royce is kneeing away, inside knees.
Sakuraba answering back with a light right knee to Royce's rib section, just sitting there like he's bored. I think he wants Royce to run out of gas. He's thinking about, okay, give me something, Royce. Give me an opening. But Royce is really keeping him close, not really giving him anything.
Let me count. How many degrees is that? Let me count the belt. Like 7 or something, huh?
I think he's it's either 6th or 7th degree black belt.
Pretty high, I guess.
That's pretty high. How many black belts do you have?
I got some from Kyokushin and everything, but I mean, Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is really hard to get.
Oh,
yeah. So it's not like a karate belt.
Maurice, did you ever get a black belt?
No, only brown belt. Taekwondo. Yeah. See this rule. See this, what's going on right now? This rules issue here. Nothing's happening. The referee wants to make some action. Now they're complaining because he wants them to break.
The referee is trying to institute a break. He's trying to say, okay, break.
Make us fight.
Yeah, because
it's just boring.
Yeah, because this is what...
I think the leg is hooked in, and he cannot...
No, they want to break him. He wants to break him.
Okay, they're having a controversy already.
So now they have a controversy because of the rules. You see, this is what happened in the rules. You should just have the regular fight.
You know, this is the kind of fight that most people had expected this would be. The first round was a surprise to us and probably the rest of the world, but this second round is pretty much exactly as we thought it would be, either on the ground or standing in a clinch, just sitting there waiting for the guy, sitting there waiting for the guy to get tired. And I think that
if Takada's coming in, see, he should go over there and discuss the corner as well, because there are corners all over here.
Look,
no, his leg was out.
Okay, but
Sakuraba.
This has almost become like court TV here. They're talking about rules and not fighting. They've like literally almost taken a break.
It's amazing.
See, there's got to be rules in the fight, you know, because it's going to be boring. But let's see, we'll figure it out.
Oh, there's the stomp now. That's going to take its toll. It is. I mean, those foot stomps do hurt.
Oh, man, they can break your bones.
Yeah, they can break that instep easily. One of the first people that I ever saw do that was Marco Huas.
Against Paul Varlin.
Paul Varlin,
yes.
UFC number 7. He hurt Paul Varlin's
We
foot.
had Peter Smith, the Thai boxer from Holland. He did it in Thailand.
Yeah, against Champuik. Yeah, I saw that.
And while he was waving to his mother, who was in the audience.
Yeah, man, Peter Smith in that fight was also dropping the downward elbows on the back of his head and the medulla, which is actually not even legal in Muay Thai.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
Peter Smith was a crazy guy.
Yep. He still is, actually.
I hear he's doing pretty good now.
He's doing good now. He straightened things out.
Now there's Helio looking on. I wonder what Helio's thinking. He's probably thinking, just take your time, Royce, which Royce is, but unfortunately so is Mr. Sakuraba, giving us really not a lot to talk about as far as the fight going on.
If you notice over here, Steve, all the corner men on both sides are in the corner. They're not by the rules here.
Okay.
Because there's Takada over there, and there's the Gracie clan over here. Nobody's following the rules.
I think that because there are no rules in this fight, that this piece of paper that we have before us basically goes right out.
Well, actually, the only one following the rules is Mr. Helio. Helio Gracie's staying in his corner.
Yes, he is.
He's the only one following the rules.
Can't he grab the belt now, Sakuraba? That he grabs the belt from
5 minutes past.
Royce and tries to twist him or something? I mean,
the thing is, I think this is a matter of attrition.
That's a smart move. That's a smart move. Use that like you would in a hockey fight. Pull it over his head.
Oh, yeah, he can do that.
Of course he can. He can't take it off and use it, though.
But he can take it over him.
He can take it over.
Maybe he's going to put a nut in it.
Well, listen, right
tie
now,
it around the rope.
Right now, he can't do anything because his arms are going to go so high. Hopefully, he has a plan here. 5 minutes have passed, and he's grabbing the gi, but he hasn't done nothing with it. So, hopefully this leads to something else.
If anything, and you guys both know, he's creating a distraction because in Royce's mind, he's thinking, what's he doing? So that takes him for a moment out of what he's doing with the chopping of the knees. But Mr. Sakuraba's just sitting there playing around with the gi. He might have something up his sleeve. If he drops straight down, I don't know what he's got.
He's just keeping busy with the knees, the inside knees, and I have to tell, man, it's what I said in the first place. They're going to hurt at the end.
If I was judging the fight, which I'm not,
because there are no judges,
but I'd say Royce is winning right now.
It's true.
Royce is definitely winning the fight right now, but Sakuraba's smiling. Realistically, guys, this fight goes into 3rd, 4, 5 rounds. Are these gentlemen going to be able to continue in a tournament to fight Igor Vovchanchyn?
Well, let me say this. Through the grapevine of the fighters, nobody figured either one of these fighters are going to the next round. That's what most of the fighters are thinking. They're thinking this is going to be it. If Sakuraba wins, he has nothing to gain, really, by going into the next round. He beat the Gracie. If Royce wins, they figure he's going to drop out. So if it goes to like 45 minutes to an hour, a lot of other fighters think that they're going to drop out.
And what is going to happen, actually, if Royce is going to win and Royce is going to drop out?
Which brings to mind, if, let's say, Royce Gracie wins, and he cannot continue. Now, Royce is pulling guard.
Look at this.
Okay, he's pulling guard. Sakuraba's got his arm straight. Nothing doing.
Beautiful. Beautiful count on Sakuraba's part.
He is so well balanced. Unbelievable.
As you were saying, Steve.
Okay. We do not have any alternates in this tournament, but the way they're going to address the possibility of a fighter who wins dropping out is they go to this is in Block A. Block A, Igor Vovchanchyn won his fight, and whoever wins between Royce Gracie and Mr. Sakuraba if they drop out, they will go to one of the gentlemen from Block C who lost, and they will replace whoever drops out. Let's say if, for instance, if Mr. Sakuraba wins this fight but cannot continue because of exhaustion or injuries, then one of the losers from Block 2, which has yet to happen, will take his place. And the way they're going to determine that is that...
Oh, he's pulling it up.
He's pulling that gi up.
Sakuraba's having fun out there.
He really is. You know, this guy likes fighting.
Every time he makes something up.
You know, that's true, boss. This guy, to me, is a true artist.
He is.
Because every time he fights, something new and different happens.
Look at this. Look, I got him. But he really can't get it right now.
No, and Royce knows that this could potentially be a problem, but I don't think Royce expected this, but he should have, because
Sakuraba
wearing the gi.
Yes.
Well, with Mr. Sakuraba, a fighter he's always got to expect at least the unexpected in the fight.
And wearing the gi, I'm sure they work that in their dojo to work with the gi to work against you, the person wearing the gi.
Well, Royce Gracie in his last fight was actually a submission wrestling fight in Brazil against Valij Ismail with gis on, and the gi definitely worked against him in that fight.
It did, but it was a jiu-jitsu fight, and it was a great. It's another. I think Walid is known as the Gracie killer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, he is. He's beaten 3 of them so far, and in jiu-jitsu, that's good. He's, like I said, the sports and the sport we're in now has evolved to a level that it's not barbaric, it's not brutal. It's a science now. It's a science the way that who's the smartest fighter, who's the best conditioned fighter, who's the most complete fighter. And, you know, when you got specialized sport like just jiu-jitsu or just kickboxing or just karate, it's a little different. These guys now are complete fighters. They're complete in every aspect, and they're going to get better.
You know, I completely agree, Mo, and there's only really been one serious injury in the sport of mixed martial arts and no holds barred, and that happened in an unsanctioned fight in Ukraine, where a gentleman unfortunately, you know, lost his life. But in boxing, for instance, there have been over 350 deaths. Yet boxing is pretty much cowed down to by certain senators in the United States in favor of trying to...
Okay, look at this. Royce with a punch, flurry of punches. A good solid punch.
Good body. Good body punches by Royce Gracie.
Good knee from Sakuraba.
Countering back. Uppercut by Royce Gracie. Right hook by Royce Gracie. Royce is boxing well here. What started off to be a less than exciting round is now turned into something interesting. Royce Gracie exhibiting some boxing ability.
Yes, 10 minutes passing through the round, and Royce is throwing punches.
And there were solid punches to the body.
Yes, he was effective punching. That was good. That was almost striker mentality.
Yes.
Striker technique.
His power wasn't really that, let's say, a Bob Chanchin or even a Maurice Smith or Bas Rutten for that matter. But nonetheless, he's reminding Mr. Sakuraba that here it is, I've got something else for you.
If you give it to me, I'm going to take it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got $20, Steve. Thanks.
There's my 50, man. You got 20? Boy, Steve, you.
Yeah.
And here we go again.
Well, we're having fun here at ringside in
sure.
Tokyo, Japan at the Tokyo Dome.
We got the best place of the house.
We got the best seats in the house. For the Pride Fighting Championship 2000, Royce Gracie versus Kazushi Sakuraba. Second round into an unlimited time limit fight. This could go on for a while, folks.
Well, right now, if we go to this round here, this will be the second round, be a half hour into the fight.
Okay, he's going to put it over his shoulder now. He's going to peel it off.
Sakuraba is really getting into Royce's head here, but unfortunately, this is more show tactics than anything because Royce has answered back, but he's answered back, but it hasn't really hurt Sakuraba yet. I suppose the chopping away at the legs may have its toll later in the fight.
Yep.
But those knees...
Look at Mr. Gracie, he's laughing. He's like, that's old school technique there, pal. We're prepared for it. It's not a real threat, but like you're saying, Steve, it could be getting to Royce's head. But to be honest, I think Royce is a really strong competitor, and if it's not going to affect, he'll know what's going to affect him. He'll know when he's in danger, and I don't think that's going to really bother him.
Well, let's thank Mr. Sakuraba that if this were tending to be a lackluster fight at this moment,
it's very exciting.
That him pulling away at the gi gives the audience something to think about. Maybe what if this happens, that happens. So he's providing show for the audience.
Yeah, it's entertaining. He makes it very entertaining. He's an entertaining fighter.
He really is. He's one of the most entertaining fighters in the real fighting world.
I think he's the most entertaining. Not just so much the fighting aspect, but his personality, his attitude. A lot of guys that fight just fight, but he fights and he enjoys it. You can see in his face. I mean, even still, his expression does not change. He should be called the expressionless face fighter.
Well, the expressionless face fighter who comes in the ring with the mask with two other guys. We'll call it that.
Mr. Calm.
Yeah, exactly.
Poker face.
Poker face, yes.
That would be a good one.
Well, you know, one of the things that he did, he had a photo session when he found out that Royce Gracie wanted an unlimited time limit, and he wore a diaper.
Yeah, I heard about that. You want to espouse that a little bit?
Well, you know, I asked Mr. Sakuraba at the rule meeting, and I said, Mr. Sakuraba, offhandedly, are you going to wear a diaper in the match because it might go a long time? And he said, no, that was just a joke.
Look at this. Royce has his own gi, and he's going for a guillotine choke. He's going around the neck and grabs his own gi. This is actually, I think, what he did with Ken Shamrock the first time.
I believe so.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we're getting near the end of the round, so when the bell rings, it's going to be to Royce's disadvantage, even if he would have had a possible submission, of which Mr. Sakuraba has got good defense against.
Oh, he's pulling the belt down.
He's using his gi good. This is good.
Now that's going to get into Royce's head if he just...
Oh, he's faking tap.
He's going to pull his pants down. Now this is entertainment, folks.
Look at this. Now, does that mean he's in the danger, or is it something he's doing because he's okay?
There are no rules, guys. So
he can pull his pants down.
I think that Mr. Sakuraba, because of the fact that Royce dictated some of the rules, is basically showing, well, there's some ways around that I can play around with the rules too.
1 minute.
1 minute left. Well, this man is a playful guy.
They're both looking good shape. This can't continue for a long time.
This will be a long time. Okay.
Now, Royce is going for the guillotine, but he only has half guard, and Sakuraba's arm is in there, so Mr. Sakuraba is in no danger. But he's using the gi to...
I don't know. We can't see from here, you know. I don't know how deep is sunk.
But I think Sakuraba can hold his breath for 30 seconds, and that's about how much longer we got.
Yeah, but if it's a blood choke, you know, it's difficult to not to bleed if it if it's sunken in.
Yeah.
I would knee him in the head right now. That was Sakuraba. High knees. He's flexible. He's capable of doing it.
But Royce is expending energy holding that choke and trying for it.
See, you can knee him in the head.
Now, what started off to be a relatively uninteresting round ended with some interesting things by Mr. Sakuraba and some boxing by Mr. Royce Gracie.
Yeah, I'm looking at Royce. He looks like he's not tired. He looks like he's in good shape. He's very calm. He's relaxed. Let's take a deep breath there. And as Sakuraba, he looks the same way. You know, but the pace is slow.
But you know, also now even if Sakuraba wins, this rule that he made up, boys, that's actually bad for Sakuraba for it to go for the next round. You understand?
Yeah.
Because if they're going to fight now 5 rounds, it's 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Because if Sakuraba goes that long, and if he decides to go to the next round, it's a long haul. It's a lot of work for one guy. I think it's not fair for either competitor, really, if they have to go to the next round. I think it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to go through to go to the next round. So, like I said, a lot of fighters feel that after this fight here, these guys are both out. That's what the rumor they feel, that the guys are not going to go to the next round. It's more Japan versus Brazil.
So this is literally for pride.
For pride.
This is actually, pardon the pun, it's for the actual pride of the individuals involved.
Yeah.
And their whole systems and their whole way of
and
life.
Their whole country.
Their way of life.
Their way of life. So we feel, they feel that this is the last round. These guys are not going beyond this round here as far as...
Now here Sakuraba is playing with the gi, going over Royce's head, but he can only get basically the, shall we say, the Virgin Mary look. And people are laughing in the audience at Sakuraba's annoying, yet possibly ineffective playing with the gi.
I hope they're going to show us the striking.
Yeah, I want to see Royce step back and throw that hook to the body and that left uppercut. Yeah. Royce was really doing some good boxing. I mean, I'd never seen him work his hands like this. Royce usually came out with that stiff arm and threw the little stomp kick and then shot for the single leg, but he's demonstrated some versatility in this fight with Mr. Sakuraba. Now he's going for the guillotine and the replay, and Sakuraba.
1 minute break. We're in the half hours mark here. Half hour fight so far.
Yeah, we've gone 30 minutes of fighting so far. Gracie versus Sakuraba. 3rd round coming up. What will happen now? I expect some hijinks from Sakuraba. I expect a kickboxing match at this point.
It would be wise to do that, but you know, like I said, it's not a scoring situation, so unfortunately, but he can use it to hopefully weaken, like Gracie just did there.
Gracie gets the strike off. Royce coming in now. Sakuraba could have capitalized with a left hook, but Royce's hands were down. But Sakuraba, I think, has got his own game plan in mind.
And only he knows what it is, because I don't know.
No, me neither, because this is the same situation. I don't hope that this is going to continue for God knows how many rounds.
Okay, now the Pride organization recently opened their own website. If you're on the internet, the address is www.jside.com/pride. That's www.jside.com/pride. And you'll get all the new information on the Pride and the Pride Fighting Championship 2000, the Stars of Pride, T-shirts, videotapes will all be available through the website. And back to the fight. More of a clinch.
You know, as a fighter, boss, wouldn't you try take a chance more, maybe?
I think so too. You have to do something, because this right now you stall, and I think it's better to try, see what comes. But I'm always like that in my fighting also. I want to get it over with.
Yeah.
You know, just go for the attack and do something. But because you can stay in the same position for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, what, half hour?
Yeah.
Half hour. Or you can sit all day. They have to make an attack. That's why I don't like this rule like this.
Time limits.
You have to just make a decision.
Yep.
If you can't win in an hour or 15 minutes or a half hour, then you shouldn't win.
No, that's what I said yesterday in the rules meeting. I said, if you really say that you're so good and you cannot finish somebody in, let's say, an hour, then you're not so good.
Really.
I mean...
Well, you know, in the history of boxing, they used to have unlimited rounds in boxing matches.
Yeah.
But that was striking. That was different. You could be knocked out. Here, this is more grappling.
But sometimes the fighters would fight to go 100 rounds.
Still, but there's also the level of fighting back then isn't as good as it is now. You're looking at different times in our history.
But 50 years from now, people are going to look back at this and say the same thing.
No, Stephen. I digress.
I knew you'd get me on that one, Mo. I gave you that one.
You did.
Foot stomps are back.
Oh, nice knee by Sakuraba. It was a groin shot. Unintentional. It was unintentional. Well, they're not going to take away a point now, are they?
No, it's not possible.
5 minutes, I think he gets.
Okay. I hope that we don't have a controversy on this. You know, boss, you made a point about the tie cups.
But there's no rules, so there shouldn't be a penalty. There should not be a penalty against Sakuraba technically because of rules.
There is no penalty because there's no scoring system.
Exactly. So,
but he's going to do a yellow card anyway. Yellow card, meaning that
he can be disqualified, I guess.
He could be disqualified under these rules if a fighter commits what is called a foul, and that to me was unintentional. But if he commits an intentional foul 3 times, he will be disqualified. Each time he will be given a yellow card, the first and second time, but the third time it will be a disqualification.
But the thing is, though, if it's an intentional, but that wasn't intentional.
I don't think it was either. He apologized right after he did it because he knew he just threw the knee in.
It just caught him.
These things happen. As Boss said, I think the tie cups, the steel cups, are
the best cups.
Yeah, they are the best cups.
Especially if you, with a little help, you know, you can put a little pin on it or something, so when they need it,
they get a little point. They get the point.
You mean you can glue a thumbtack pointing outward?
Yes.
That's the kind of nice things you can do with it.
Oh, that was a ouch.
That was a good knee.
That was a good knee right to the groin.
Yeah, it slided up.
It was a little bit high, but
it wasn't intentional, right? But that's an important thing. It just happens.
Realistically, we know as men that just a brush is.
Is enough. And again, Royce stands up and shows heart. I saw him putting his gi back in his belt, and with that he showed already that he was intended to keep on fighting. Yes. And I really respect that, because with the yellow card, if he would have stopped right now, he would have won the fight. So he scores an extra point.
Yeah, so I think that Royce Gracie has answered a lot of questions of how he could come back against Sakuraba's ability so far.
Yep.
I mean, he's already fought a 30-minute fight. Now we're into possibly, if this goes to the distance, a 45-minute fight against Sakuraba, who is regarded, as we said, as one of the greatest fighters in his division. Oh! A jump. Low roundhouse kick.
Low kick.
It was almost a drop kick, a pro wrestling move, but that was a Royce Gracie, sort of a kung fu move almost.
You know what's interesting, and Boss, we have to agree, that a lot of fighters now are kicking to the legs.
Yes.
They realize the validity of that. Oh, a high kick. But they realize the validity of a low kick. It's really, it shows you how the sports are merging together more. The fighting arts are merging together more.
Yep.
Well, I think Mo, in your kickboxing career, used the low kick very effectively. And Boss, in your fight against Mr. Kosaka, you took away his ability to shoot the low kick. Okay, here we go.
Now the fight's on.
Now they're really getting into it. And Royce is down, trying to pull into an arm bar or a triangle, but striking back with a knuckle punch. Sakuraba getting ready to do some kind of a strike.
Let's see Sakuraba's move here. He likes his position.
Yes, he does.
Hopefully he doesn't get kicked in the face.
No, that's true. He has to watch out for that.
Yeah, but he's fought.
Look at this. He's so flexible.
He fought Alan Goes in this position, Vitor Belfort in this position, and Ebenezer Pontes Braga in this position.
Look at him.
He's using the gi against Royce Gracie. Now he's just leaning against the ropes.
No, Royce is pinning his legs. Royce pinned his legs against the ropes.
But if Royce misses, he's going to hit his heel on the canvas.
See that it should come down the ground.
Yep. Made the beautiful jump thing do something.
I think we're going to see that later.
When I thought that Sakuraba was getting kind of slow, he was exploding again.
Yeah.
Look, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's
because
a good fight, guys.
Yeah, another low kick by Gracie, but there's not a lot on that kick, and he's throwing the kick almost like a cosmetic kick, just as a distraction.
Still, I didn't expect this.
Yes.
Huh.
I really think.
Oh, left jab by Royce Gracie right on the button. Royce is kickboxing pretty well in a technical sense. There's a low kick.
See, now once, you can do it again, but not right away. Go for a punch, then go for low kick.
That's it. Left hook, right low kick.
Left jab, right low kick. 5 minutes past.
5 minutes into the round.
He has to keep going for the low kick because he saw it was effective.
Yeah, low kick. Just corner screaming, low kick, low kick.
And there we are in the position.
That's the position of the fight so far.
You know, it's 6:45 here in Japan, p.m. Let's say we got it here by what? What do you think?
I don't know. What do you think?
I know for a fact that Mark's fight was scheduled at 18:45. That's in 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Well, that's not going to happen.
No, I know for a fact.
Well, you know, the tough thing is for the fighters that are coming on after this is when to warm up.
Yes.
Because they won't know when to warm up, and they'll cool down and warm up. So they must have some kind of buffer of time in there. They've given them a 10-minute period that they can be ready.
Yeah, the whole concept, I guess, the concept of unlimited fight should be like the last fight of the night, and let the guys just go for it. So the other guys get their fight on and qualify. This should have been like the last fight, I feel.
Well, that's true for this event. They do have that rule in effect for the finals, no matter who is in the fight. All of Royce Gracie's fights are scheduled for no time limit, but if he loses and whoever goes into the finals, it is scheduled for no time limit.
No, I'm referring only to this fight here right now. I mean, they should have this fight, because it's hard to determine, but it really isn't, in my view. It really isn't.
Knee up to the head by Mr. Sakuraba, but it did not land.
Connect. It's not, to me, it's not part of the tournament because it's not the same rules of the tournament. It's just an extra. It's a special fight. And that's why it should be treated as a special fight.
Now, Boss, as a student of the martial arts, do you think that Royce Gracie has watched some Muay Thai?
Oh, for sure. I know for sure because that high kick very surprised us with in the beginning. Listen, it's all about it. Don't need a lot of power. If it's right on the jaw, you're going down anyway, you know. And he showed a few low kicks. The knees actually is doing good, and he surprised me with the punching. I must